Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Team Fortress TV. Tonight, we got some great RGL Division 2 action for you. This is Season 4, Week 8B, Stock Market versus Honey Bacon Club. We got Looster 200 on the camera. My name is Caleb, and casting with me tonight is Antlers.
Hey, how's it going, Caleb?
I'm doing just fantastic. I'm really excited for some Division 2, some of the best TF2 you're ever going to see. And this match in particular might have some important playoff implications. Can you tell us about that, Antlers?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is actually a very, very important game for stock market here. Honey Bacon is currently second in playoff seeding, and stock market needs to win this map in order to be able to play in playoffs and continue this season out, which is going to be absolutely huge for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to run down the roster for stock market real quick. On Scout, we got Meatball and 8TGHJK1DUIGFNVJBA3ZXCCB rolls right off the tongue. Market, as some people call him. On Soldier, we got Stock and Phone. Phone played an invite last season on Scout. Not allowed to play Scout in Division 2, but bring some experience to the team. We got Azion on the Demo Man and Bloopy rounding out the team on Medic.
Alright, and for Honey Bacon Club, we have Rasta Ronald on Medic, Artist on Demo, we have Dog and Mouse Cake on the Soldier classes, and Kutch and Palm on the Scouts. How do you think these teams are going to line up, do you think?
Well, last time these teams met in the regular season, Honey Bacon Club won out 4-2 on Clear Cut, I believe, was the score. But from what I'm hearing, from what you said, actually, stock market plays a lot of Snake Water. They really like Snake Water. They're very comfortable on it. So the fact that this is the map for tonight might give them a little bit of edge. We know they're able to take rounds off of Honey Bacon Club and might be able to make their way into playoffs, so you know they're going to be trying their little hearts out tonight. They want to bring the action. They want to bring home the W.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I actually used to pub scrim once in a while with most of the players on stock market. I can say they're very comfortable on Snake Water. I know for a fact that they have a lot of practice, a lot of time spent on this map. I think that they might actually really have a good chance of pulling this off completely. But that's still, that 4-2 on Clear Cut does create some concerns in order for their playoffs to actually continue on. So we do have to kind of take a look at these players head-to-head if we're going to see anything about any actual in-match predictions, is my opinion.
All right, so what head-to-heads do you want to look at, Antlers?
You know, I'm going to take a look at the most influential class of the game. I want to see what happens with Bloopy and Rasta Ronald. I want to see how they compare, you know?
Yes, okay, so now we got the switch stats on the screen. Rasta Ronald versus Bloopy. Rasta Ronald running crits very often compared to Bloopy, and also has more Ubers. Bloopy has more drops, slightly more healing per map, slightly more heals given per minute, a worse KD, higher average deaths, lower average assists. So from what it looks looking like from these stats, Rasta Ronald has had a better season. But obviously, Bloopy, he knows how to put out the heals. You know, he's going to be supporting his team, and I'm expecting him to do well tonight. I think Rasta Ronald will also play a very clean game. I'm expecting him to not die very much. These stats have given me the confidence in him, the expectations, and yeah, what do you think?
So I've actually played with Bloopy. This is RGL Season 2 Advanced, and Bloopy was my medic for that season. And I can say I actually completely see why these stats are the way that they are. Bloopy is, in my personal opinion, at least, a much more passive medic, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's not. But at the same time, like, you got to give him props. He's really about playing support, and that absolutely shows in these lockups as well.
So, like, he has a much higher average drops stat than Rasta Ronald does. Is he not a subscriber to the pop it, don't drop it mindset. Like, if he's been getting bombed by a roamer and he's at risk of dying, is he going to try to milk the Uber and possibly die and drop? Or as opposed to, like, popping very safely? Is he that type of medic?
I'm going to say, based on an experience I had with him, I would say that he relies a lot on his teammates to be able to protect him, and if that doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at the same time, I mean, look at Meatball and not Phone, but Market, right?
Yes.
So they're both incredibly well versed in playing Scout. I believe Phone played ESEA IM, and he was very successful there. So I think very much so that if Lumpy can stay with his scouts, he absolutely has a really good chance of being able to both output more heals, but also drop way less. But that also comes to his dependence on his teammates rather than specifically an in-game mechanical advantage that he might have himself.
Yeah, I remember I used to play with Meatball. I used to pug with him back in the day, several years ago, and he was always very, very good. It was like a rising star back then in the mid-open pug scene around like season 22. But I'm expecting big things from him tonight. I think we have a ringer in the server also, Mousecake, who is ringing for someone. I'm not sure who. I would have to check the rosters real quick.
He's actually on the roster.
Oh, okay.
He's an absolute starter.
Oh, okay.
And also, might I say, an absolute beast. He's been playing the game for a while as well. And I've casted a Honey Bacon Club before on product, and between Dog and Mousecake, they were putting out some absolutely astounding numbers. And frankly, really helped their team out against Blanc, I believe that was.
Yeah, I think I was confused because he's tagged up as ringing in the game, but I think that's just a general ringer tag. And no, I thought I heard the countdown. Thought we were going live. I don't know what the delay is right now. We have 12 in server. Everyone's on the proper team, but they're just running around DMing. It's just a DM server right now, so I'm not.
Figuring out what stats they're going through, what they're planning, the whole shebang, really.
Yes, the pre-game talk, trying to hype each other up, get this match going with their plans made, so they have the strategies set. Hard to make in the moment, such a fast-paced game. But how about score predictions, Antlers? What do you think's going to happen tonight?
All right, so you have to really take a look at my personal inherent bias and the facts. And I love Stock Market as a team. I've been rooting for them since day one. Stock Market is probably my number one Div 2 team in my heart, but they're going to have to really pull it together if they want to make sure everything works out for them as a whole this game. So, my love goes out to them. I'm going to say it's probably going to be a fairly close game for the side of Honey Bacon Club.
So what would you say, like 5-3, 5-4?
Oh, if you're making go to fives, okay.
Do you think it's not going to be a high-scoring game? Do you think we're going to have less than 5?
I think that Stock Market, if nothing else, value patience. And that's going to definitely come for it's both an advantage and a disadvantage for them sometimes. I'm going to say that if I had to put a number on the scoreboard, it would be 4-2 for the side of Honey Bacon Club.
4-2, just like that clear-cut game. So, I mean, Snakewater is typically a map with a lot of back and forth. Teams can struggle to push Snakewater last, which is fair. It's a pretty big last. You got a lot of ground to cover, and it's relatively easy to defend. There are a lot of good sentry spots. You can get a heavy up there, does great work. Sniper sight lines are pretty decent. You're getting some quick picks by peeking through the lobby, and it's just hard to break through when you're going in, especially if it's an even Uber exchange. I think a lot of teams, regardless of what division they're in, struggle with pushing Snakewater last a lot. Also pushing out of it, but I think more so pushing in. There's a lot of, you can get some really sneaky backcaps on here by hiding in the drop down, for example, or by the crates and tires in lower. But Snakewater is usually a map with a lot of back and forth between the 2 second points. The team that wins mid, I feel like on Snakewater, more so than other maps, doesn't necessarily win the round. So I'm expecting a lot of back and forth action, probably a lot of 3-2 stalemate. That's my prediction.
Probably the biggest thing, in my personal opinion, would be coordination of Ubers. That'd be absolutely huge. But we are going live here.
Woo!
And to start us off, I'm actually going to be watching Azion as he starts rolling out here. We're going to watch as he does actually go lower, which is a little interesting. He does arrive a little slower than Art to the mid, but does end up trading some good spam as we see Scouts coming over the top. As it looks like we're going to see Soldiers actually commit high over both sides. Double Soldier Bomb coming in, killing Ross and Ronald, Art, Touch, and Palm. Absolutely beautiful stuff there. Bloomby does go down on the counter bomb coming out from Dog, but at the end of the day, this is an absolutely convincing stock market mid.
So that's a statement mid for stock market. That's really coming out of the gate fast and furious. I mean, complete wipe for Honey Bacon Club. They were taunting on the point. Dog did get the frag onto Bloomby, so that's going to make sure it's not a quick conversion going right into last as Azion gets another pick onto Kutch right there. So Honey Bacon Club just bleeding players left and right. Stock market
see that they took second very quickly off of that solid mid wipe, and with that they were able to take second and really deny anybody trying to push out and defend that second point. But now we're holding back on spam as it is 50% Uber on either side. We are seeing a sniper coming out of Kutch as he might be taking a position over on the right side, slowly peeking into an angle. Let's see if he gets anything here though. So far both medics approaching Uber. Ross Ronald a little bit faster, but he did die earlier, so that does make sense. And it looks like at this point, Bloomby is well aware of the fact that there's a sniper. Scouts have spotted him out, and now playing angles very defensively, making sure they can get whatever safety amenities that they can pull for. And it looks like we're going to get ready for a sec sometime soon.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for this sniper to get a pick, I think. The way that stock market is positioned, just not crossing the sight lines at all. Very passive, not really controlling lobby at all. Now starting to move forward. Oh, but Art
huge double
gets picked.
Coming from Artist.
Wow, okay.
Absolutely nuts.
All
and
right,
also we're going to see Mouse Cake coming in for the counter stack, going in absolutely high onto Bloomby. Bloomby does end up surfing away, gets cleaned up by Market. Scouts do try to make space in lower, but Palm does eventually get caught out from that as the double stacks end up trading true and fair. And that was... I'm still astounded. Artist, what a shot.
Yeah, that was completely crazy. I didn't actually see it. I saw the frags pop up in the feed and I was like, what just happened? But anyway, nothing really came of that particularly. We have reset into the same position we were in. I think Honey Bacon Club holding a little bit more aggressively than they were before, and we do have Palm on Spy. So I don't know if he's just checking the guns or if he's going to go out and try to make a play. He's still sitting in spawn right now, just jumping around.
Yeah, he's very much just waiting around, seeing for counter pick classes, and they did not find anything. But we do see that Phone is on the battalion's backup, making for some good spam right now, as it looks like Stock actually does get a pick here. Let's see if that comes into some kind of...
Here comes Meatball.
Because it does look like Stock is going to go in. Does pick up Kutch as well. Forcing Ross to Ronald.
And he kills himself.
Is coming in. Does force out the Uber trade on both sides, but looks like Honey Bacon Club are 2 down here.
Yeah, this is much better for stock market right now. Although Palm does get a frag onto... Okay, alright, well there goes the round right there. Very clean last push on the side of stock market, putting their first round on the board in only 4 minutes or so. So really coming out of the gate strong from the mid all the way to last. And that's going to put them in a comfortable position for this game. Rolling into the next mid, I'm watching Artist right now rolling out to the Saw, firing the stickies across the point to Azion, who rolled out lower just like last time. Stock market has a bit of an interesting strategy on this mid. They really delayed from this left side and are now jumping in. Azion is the first one to go down, Art as well, and then Phone and Bloopy. So this is not turning out very well on the side of stock market. Only Meatball left alive, 36 HP, gets taken down, and that's going to be the mid over to Honey Bacon Club. Ross and Ronald stayed alive, so that's going to be a big advantage on the side of Honey Bacon Club.
Yeah, you can absolutely see Honey Bacon Club decided to prescribe to the stock market meta of just pressing W and with the scout just rushing down Azion the way he did, there was no chance. Especially, they also sent a soldier into Stock Market's Saw, and that worked out super well as well. It looks like we're actually going to get ready for a push coming out from the upper side. Sentry does go down from the Demo Command. No Uber popped yet. Heavy does come out. No Uber still popped. They finally do use Demo jumping in and forcing Azion back. They're edging the point as well. Both soldiers on the point right now, both very hurt. As looks like trades do come out. Stock being the last one alive does go down. Azion defending with his life, but does go down to his own pipe. And Honey Bacon Club take the point back.
A quick return. That was a very, very fast round. Only like a minute and a half, I think. So now we're at 1-1. Tied game. Stock Market's original coming out of the gates is their momentum's being slowed now coming into this next mid. I want to see what their plan is. Azion rolls out lower once again. Art through Saw. I can see Dog, he's in the enemy kitchen right now, and Stock Market is doing their left side mid once again, jumping across the point, trying to take a lot of ground, which they're doing. Art goes down, Phone goes down, Bloomby is 15 health, Azion is at 5, and the health is just not good on the side of Stock Market. Bloomby stayed alive for longer than Ronald did, but that might end up hurting them as they wipe fully. Once again, only 2 players left alive on the side of Honey Bacon Club, but they're going to take that mid and have a good position because Ronald is going to spawn first. Actually, the spawn waves are going to even out, but still, another mid to Honey Bacon Club.
Yeah, it's absolutely really interesting to watch. Azion does actually come regularly to mid slower than Artist does, which is really interesting as it's hugely influential on how their mids play out. But it also looked like Stock Market didn't really put any ground up on high. You can see that actually came into effect as well. We are going to see Palm actually just kind of feed in, as looks like we're going to see an attempted counter-attack coming out from Stock to no effects. Looks like we're seeing just a little bit of lower hold right now. Meatball is fighting in Saw as well, trying to create some space while he can. But this is actually a really interesting way to hold second.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think Stock Market's using some kind of unorthodox tactics, balling up a lot more than I see most teams do, and just really picking a side and going with it. It has its advantages and disadvantages. Meatball's been alone a lot. He was running around in Saw and was risking his life. He didn't end up going down. Stock came to help him out. But so now we see Palm is on Sniper once again. Actually, it was Kutch before. Now Palm's going to try to make a shot. He is looking through the window. This is not an angle I typically see. And there's a scout standing right there. Meatball gets headshot. Oh my god. You can't be standing still ever. Palm will get you.
And the trap comes out to kill Phone as well. But eventually Market does take down the Sniper. On the med, it looks like he did not force that all the way out. And Stock does take out Dog on the point. But with this, Honey Bacon Club are going to take second to a little fighting back coming out from Stock Market.
Yeah, I think maybe the frag onto Meatball threw them a little bit. That was really funny. He was just standing completely still.
You're seeing a bomb coming out onto Bloopy right now, so he does actually hold. What a beautiful surf coming out as Mousekick doesn't find the frag. But with Bloopy as hurt as he is, we are going to maybe not see an actual counter-sack. But it looks like Stock is trying to make some space underneath. Does get spotted out and is forced to back up.
Yeah, I like Stock Market's aggression right now, responding to the loss of Mousecake, trying to peek a little bit more further into that lobby, and here comes the jump coming in from Phone, trying to get the frag, but Palm takes out Meatball, so that's not going to be good. Dog takes out Phone as well, so this is turning into a bit of a disaster on the side of Stock Market. They're trying to hold off the Honey Bacon Club team, but here comes Mousecake jumping in once again, gets the force this time. And now that's going to be a full advantage on the side of Rasta Ronald because they're not going to be able to get out with this push and get any frags. Rasta is well and safe in his positioning all the way back on the second point. So now Honey Bacon Club is going to have the opportunity to plan out their push, take their time, and get into this last.
Yeah, you could definitely see how Stock Market overcommitted on that flank side by Shutter. And they were actually rushed by 2 scouts and a soldier, 3 players total. Absolutely not helpful by any means. But it looks like we're going to see players coming through Shutter on the Uber. Dimman spamming down the gun. Eventually goes down to Kutch. Heavy does get knocked back as well. Does respawn properly. And looks like Honey Bacon Club are taking the full point.
Wow.
And they were able to get through without actually really killing many people from the side of Stock Market. They just took so much space on that Uber because Stock Market just eventually had to kite.
Yeah, that was really, really good point pressure on the side of Honey Bacon Club. They knew what they were doing. They had all the focus, not on the players, but on the point, and they got right on it. Rosserano had a great surf also. So now, Art very, very fast to mid, actually. Azion pretty fast as well. But here come the soldier from Phone. He's up top trying to make the space, but there's a soldier onto Bloopy who is down to 50 health. But here come the frags all coming in for the side of Stock Market. Bloopy does go down, but that's a full wipe once again. This time for Honey Bacon Club, as Stock Market's going to be able to move on to very quickly.
Yeah, you can see Bloopy and Ross are both died at the same time, so they are going to be respawning fairly within the same amount of time, but because Stock Market capped mid, his spawn is going to delay a little bit. What we are going to see, though, is a completely strong hold on both soldiers on the side of Stock Market, holding second, but they're going to get pushed back a little bit. As we can see Stock hiding up on the boxes, does get spotted out by the Dem Man, jumps away, second soldier bombing in, does get caught out, and as Red did cap the point, they're going to be fighting back Blue, trying to hold this, but it does look like they're losing ground here, as Honey Bacon Club are way healthier in this fight. As ground is completely taken almost for free, even though Meatball actually does get a frag. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I was liking this push from Honey Bacon Club a lot, but it was good from Stock Market to return on the aggression and kind of stuff them. Meatball does go down, but he got a frag onto Art, and without a demo, that shut down a lot of Honey Bacon Club's fragging power, ability to put out that damage. But now, Mousecake trying to fire some rockets into the lobby, takes a direct actually, so that's going to force him out for a little bit, have to get healed up. Meatball is on Spy, the Spee class, and he is going to be wanting to make a pick, get his way into last. He's currently in Saw right now, just walking his way up, looking at the defense on the side of Honey Bacon Club. We have all stock cookie cutter lineup right now, no sentry, no heavy. They want to be able to push out quickly whenever they have the opportunity. And Meatball is running in somewhere. He is up on this other side. He's in undetected from lobby, and he's going to want to decloak behind Roster Ronald and get the pick. He's behind the truck right now, right by the cone. Here he goes. He's sneaky, sneaky. Oh, but he barely misses it. Meatball.
That is so sad.
Meatball, no.
You could see that someone were actually posturing for the pick as well. They're getting ready for their push, buffing everybody up, but unfortunately with that loss of a pick, they're really gonna have to play back again, go back to second and try for a different angle maybe. Meatball does switch back to scout, but with this, we aren't going to see a counter sack coming out from the side of Honey Bacon Club, who are up 2-1 right now. They might be content to just let the stalemate out, but at the same time, that's not good TF2. We don't want to see that happen.
I think it's okay right now. Palm just switched to Spy briefly, maybe to check for off classes. I think it's okay for Honey Bacon Club. I mean, it's only been 13 minutes so far. They're up 2-1. I think they maybe just don't want to make any hasty decisions right now. The first time they tried to push out, actually, as I say that, there's a scout and soldier in from lower. Kutch is on sniper. Those two players are going to back out. The sniper is peeking through lobby, wanting to get an angle, but all of Stock Market is on the other side of lobby by the shutter, so that's not going to be able to get him anything. He's pushing up a little bit more, a more aggressive angle. Meatball's going to try to shut him down, but Stock goes down actually to the pipe of Art. Mousecake does also go down to Meatball, and Meatball's going to trade out a frag, but I think that's going to stabilize out for right now. No more frags are going to go down, and no one seems to be wanting to aggress right now. Honey Bacon Club starting to peek into lobby a little bit. Kutch is in the lobby shooting the stickies on the door, but is it going to be enough to make them actually want to push? It's not looking like it. They're going to be setting up the stickies once again to defend last. Palm is on Spy, maybe just checking off classes again. This has been a very frequent play, yeah.
So I think that is absolutely smart from the side of Palm to make sure that they do check the off classes the way they are, but it looks like they're posturing for another pick as they are getting their medic Bloopy into the lobby again. Both soldiers revving up to create some spam. The jump does actually come out from the side of Stock, gets denied by a scout, and looks like Market does go down as well, forcing Stock Market to come back completely. Let's see if there's going to be any counter aggression coming out from Honey Bacon Club, as it looks like they are taking their medic in through cheese. That's an interesting play. On to Azion. Looks like Kutch is on logs right now. Counter jumps coming out from the enemy soldiers, but they do end up dying. And Azion does take out the scout with the Uber, forcing out Roster Ronald on his own. He does hit a beautiful surf on the bridge, but what a terrible play, in all honesty, coming out from Honey Bacon Club. They were just so impatient on whatever they were trying to do here. Looks like now they're posturing for a play in. Uber does come out from the side of Stock Market. They're jumping across, edging the point a little bit with one of the scouts. And with another frag on the mouse cake, and Russell Ronald going down to such low HP, being shot by a scout in a demo, there's really just no hope for them, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They do
that's
edge
going to
up
be
the
the
point,
round.
and Stock Market wins to tie up the rounds 2-2.
2-2.
You know, maybe I was wrong about not going to 5. I think that this is absolutely going to be a close, tight game.
Yeah, it's looking like it so far. We have a 2-all score at the moment on Snakewater. Moving into this next mid, have Azeon going lower once again. This seems to be what Stock Market likes to do and come up from their left side. Both scouts trying to get up top and then delaying a soldier bomb. Dog is in once again, but he gets shut down this time, which is good. They need to keep Bloopy alive. They have not kept Bloopy alive on any of these mids, I think, but this one is going very, very well for them. Bloopy is down to 30 health. They're trying to sell out Honey Bacon Club to try and kill him, but no, they're gonna wipe once again. I think on every single one of these mids so far, one of the teams has fully wiped Antlers.
You're actually right. It's really interesting to see how they're choosing to fight completely aggressively versus choosing to try and kite the aggression coming out from the enemy team. And you can actually see Stock Market are choosing to not play as aggressively as they did on the first mid, in exchange of kiting out the double soldier bombs coming out from the side of Honey Bacon Club. And you're seeing what happens with that, with the soldiers not being able to do any damage and the scouts not being able to clean up on the damage. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, as we can see Stock Market trying to move to the lower right now, moving up to the lobby by Shutter. The Stickies are blown out the door. The sentry on the right side is taken down quickly by the rockets of Phone. They're trying to move across the point now, get whatever frags they can. Art goes down, so no demo. There's a heavy they have to deal with on the side of Palm on the point, but he's the only one alive at this point on the side of Honey Bacon Club, and he's going to get focus fire down. So many players in the red, but it's not going to matter. That's going to be the half. 3-2 in favor of Stock Market.
I knew my boys could pull out. I did go against them in my prediction. I'm being proven wrong, and I could never be happier.
Yeah, some really impressive play from Stock Market, I think. A lot of team cohesion. They're not, like, it's not perfect play. You know, there are times where they get a bit disorganized, but I think overall as a team, they have an idea of what they're doing. They seem like they really did have a plan coming into this match, and it's paying off for them. I'm looking at the stats right now, and sorting by damage per minute, the top is actually Art, who is putting out a ton of work, 331 damage per minute. Mouse Cake is at 288, and then goes Stock at 270. So it's really not even that, like there's so much damage being put out by the side of Stock Market, but they are getting the frags they need. 57 frags for Stock Market, 43 for Honey Bacon Club. So I think it's just a sign of really good focus fire on the side of Stock Market, not shooting at targets who are getting healed or that are like just way over healed, picking out where the weak targets are, focusing on them and getting the frags they need.
You're absolutely right. I'm seeing that as well. And I think another huge thing that's coming into play right now is actually going to be the medics as well. It looks like every single time that Bloopy has had an advantage, he's been able to push it. And that's been absolutely huge in terms of how they're like making these plays that they are. The aggression is absolutely coming out strong on the side of Stock Market when it needs to come out. And other times they're also very able to kite the damage that is coming out from the enemy team as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest thing for Stock Market right now is being able to keep Bloopy alive on these mids. If they can keep Bloopy alive, their mid strategies have been pretty good, I think. They've been doing kind of the same one over and over. And the idea of it is sound. They delay a little bit and then push forward as a unit, try to take the height. And it always is working in the sense that they're able to get the height positioning and maneuver themselves well, but the biggest problem I'm seeing with it right now is that Bloopy is often just left out to dry, and then like Honey Bacon Club is really seizing advantage of that. Honey Bacon Club doesn't seem to have as much of a coordinated plan on these mids, but I think as a team they just have enough experience and familiarity with each other that they can adapt on the fly, and it's worked on some of these mids, completely wiping Stock Market, but also going the other way on several of them as well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge factor coming into this. It's just how the teams are familiar with each other and this map, we're going to see some focused fire coming out from both teams for sure. But you can absolutely tell who's winning in that department. As we are actually going into this next half mid, I'm going to be watching Artist here. He does usually beat Azeon to mid, actually coming through Saw instead of Azeon's lower. And it looks like we're going to see another repeat of that, as Azeon does actually shoot the first sticky, but not anything particular. Dog does go into the enemy side again. He does end up trying to bomb out onto Bloopy, kills Azeon and Bloopy. What an incredible bomb coming out from Dog, as it looks like Stockmarket's going to have to sell it for this medic.
Oh, and they do actually get him. Phone takes down Rasta, so that's going to be pretty big for the side of Stock Market. Are they going to fully wipe? Phone is the only one alive. He has 122 health. He's in the enemy's lower. Going to try to make a play. But because they did kill Rasta Ronald, that's going to be a bit of a saving grace for the side of Stock Market, as that mid went pretty disastrously for them. Dog had a huge bomb onto Bloompy and just shut down Stock Market's mid dreams. They look like they want to re-aggress though, just a little bit. Stock is jumping up on top of the shack, trying to spam some rockets. Phone jumps up top, trying to shut down Mouse Cake from the height. Ooh, really good stickies from Azeon, the focus fire, taking out Mouse Cake. And that's going to push Honey Bacon Club all the way out of mid. And they didn't ever get the cap, I don't think. So this is actually a mid win over to Stock Market.
It's actually the first time neither team has fully wiped as well, with Phone barely holding on, able to help his team re-aggress properly by creating a distraction. As we're looking to see a medic coming into Yard here on the side of Stock Market. It looks like Dog is going to try and counterbomb him. He does go down for his troubles though, as it looks like we're trading picks out on either side from each soldier. Looks like just some errant spam coming out, and Stock Market is forced to back up as they didn't really get any good ground to go off of.
Yeah, just couldn't really get the positioning they were looking for. We're sitting at even Ubers right now, so I think maybe they just didn't want to commit to that push. They're up 3-2, and they like kind of bunching up as a unit, moving forward together. There are so many stickies on that wall that Stock was just like looking at, just waddling towards. But anyway, yeah, so Stock Market doesn't really look like they're postured to push right now. Meatball is hiding in Saw, I think maybe waiting for the push to come out from Honey Bacon Club and to see if he can try to get a pick. But actually, as I say that, Phone has been on Sniper, and Palm gets taken down with a nice body shot from him. That's going to let Stock Market try to push in through this lower. Phone is taking a lot of damage though, goes down to 20 health, but here comes a bomb from Stock, trying to get onto the soldier. Mouse Cake, actually Mouse Cake takes down Meatball with a nicely placed rocket. That's going to shut down the push from Stock Market right now. Honey Bacon Club wants to aggress into this Saw. Meatball's no longer sitting there, so they can take this ground. I don't know if they really want to. Dog, gets headshot in Saw by Phone, he was sitting in the window, and he's going to drop down, not going to die, but goes down to 11 HP. And that's going to slow down the aggression from Honey Bacon Club now.
Yeah, you can absolutely see, like, now that they know that Phone is going to be on Sniper, they have to figure out what their plan is going to be for getting a good angle. Mousecake is playing really close to the Sniper angle, does get a body shot, but is able to back up relatively free. Looks like we're going to see Phone trying to take an approach through this window, but right now Honey Bacon Club are playing very much anti-Sniper, with Rusteron hiding behind the logs, and no soldier ready to really bomb in from either team.
We see Phone looking through this window angle, similar to what, was it Palm earlier who got the headshot onto Meatball? I think so. But now Palm gets headshot from Phone. A nice return, a revenge frag, and now Azeon's putting the stickies through low. Dog tries to get the flank through Saw. Meatball goes down to the rocket from Dog, so a really nice flank from him, and Stock goes down to Cook. So another disastrous push. Actually, the Uber does get forced though from Rasta Ronald, so there's going to be the Uber trade as Bloompy is forced on mid, and we're going to reset just a little bit as both Ubers were forced. Nothing really got done with either of them, and Phone's still on Sniper, peeking in through this lower antlers.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was actually kind of funny to watch. Stock came in and was able to force off Rasta Ronald very well, but then it looked like Kuch just walked in as well and just forced Bloompy as well, just forcing both medics. Neither Uber got to be able to be used for their actual potential. With that, it looks like Phone's just going to be continuing to look for angles here, as he's posturing up, trying to see if he can get another pick on Palm through window for the third time. Hopefully he does not.
Oh, but here comes the aggression
caught out
from Honey Bacon Club. Takes down Phone very, very quickly. Really, really nice heads-up play from them. And Stock goes down as well in the Saw area. That's going to let Honey Bacon Club start moving towards this balcony area. They're moving out on their left side, trying to get some height advantage. They're not getting the space they really want right now, but Stock Market's actually giving them a lot of respect, a lot of room, and that's going to let the combo walk through Saw and just running up Kutch and Rasta Ronald popping up their Uber. Here comes the exchange. Are they going to be able to kill Bloopy? Meatball, Easy on both go down, and if they can kill the combo of Stock Market right there, this could be really, really good for the round for Honey Bacon Club. Actually, the frags start coming in on the side of Stock Market. Palm and Rasta Ronald both go down. Stock goes down to Kutch, but Bloopy is still alive at 20% Uber, and Honey Bacon Club has to kill Bloopy now, and Art actually does manage with the stickies and manages another crazy pipe onto Phone, and now there's going to be a 2-on-1 situation trying to kill Dog, who is hanging out in the kitchen. But is he going to die? I think he's going to get out through lower. No, Meatball takes him out with a nicely placed scattergun shot. That's going to be actually another win for Stock Market. A really, really good coordinated team fight from them, allowing them to take second. There's going to be an Uber advantage on the side of Honey Bacon Club, about 30%. Kutch going to try to move back in, get the frag on the Meatball, who's a little bit caught out, but Meatball's actually going to take him out. Kutch goes down. Meatball himself finally dying to the rocket of Mousecake, but here comes the bomb from Phone, and he's going to get shut down with actually an air arrow from Rasta Ronald, and that's going to let Honey Bacon Club recapture this second.
That was an absolutely huge fight coming back from the side of Honey Bacon Club, being able to keep their mid here. As they are trying to push into mid here, Artist is going to be pushing in through Saw with the rest of his team. Soldier's taking the top, creating some spam and forcing the side of Stock Market back. And with that, looks like Stock Market's actually going to give up mid completely, having backed up, lost the high ground, you know, all that jazz. Artist does come in through lower, does get cleared by a Phone, but from there, they just look like Stock Market's going to keep playing back because they know they have an Uber disad.
Yeah, some pretty conservative play on the side of Stock Market right now, but I think I agree with that. If I were them, I would want to hang on to my round advantage. You're playing a team that's higher seeded than you. I think you don't want to let them start getting on a roll. You want to prevent yourself from losing this lead that you've worked so hard to get. And actually, here comes Palm sneaking into last. Mousecake bombing in, trying to get onto Bloopy, who does manage to get the force. Mousecake and Bomb both down. Art returns with a pipe onto Meatball, but now there's going to be a full Uber out for Rasta Ronald in the side of Honey Bacon Club. We're going to see what they can make of this. This is a dangerous situation if you're Stock Market. We have a sniper and an engineer for Market. He's going to be building a sentry on the right side. This is one of my favorite spots for a sentry on Snakewater Last, right by this rock here. And the sniper of Phone, using his invite scout hit scan DM, is going to try to make a pick. He's going to the left side, trying to look through the shutter, maybe the drop down, see if anyone peeks, gets a little bit too aggressive to get taken down. And here comes Dog coming in. Actually, the Uber, as I say, that the sentry goes down very quickly along with Market. The Uber now completely faded, but Honey Bacon Club doing a good job stuffing Stock Market back, and the frags are going in their favor. It's a 3v3 right now, some going for Stock Market as well, and actually, they're starting to win this fight, Stock Market is, and wow, Honey Bacon Club is going to have to retreat through lower. Palm and Rasta Ronald are out. Medic stays alive, but a pretty hefty advantage on the side of Stock Market.
I didn't get to say that time because you were just being an amazing caster, but alright, it looks like there is going to be some fighting, but oh my god, a trap coming out from Artist, kills Bloopy, destroying that huge Uber ad that they were carrying, as it looks like Honey Bacon Club are going to be keeping their second point. Any scout fighting back destroyed, as it looks like it just is Market and Phone left alive to hold this last. Phone is behind right now, but doesn't really look like he's going to be able to do too much there.
That's a morale killer if you are Stock Market right now, and Honey Bacon Club is going to waste no time coming into this last. Phone goes down, big demo jump from Art, who just got that big kill. Palm does go down from Market, so, but here come the frags coming in. Wow, okay, frag going left and right. Who knows what's going to win? It's a 2-on-2 situation. Azion, the only one alive, gets Rasta Ronald. He's going to be able to kill Art too
Azion
and save the last.
The huge damage coming out from Azion. He got a 4K on that, might I add. I'd like to say, though, this is what happens when you play as conservatively as Stock Market does, which is kind of unfortunate because they do know how to kite very well, and it's proven time and time again effective. But at the same time, they're giving Honey Bacon Club so many chances. And they're not going in for forces at all. It does look like Honey Bacon Club do have a sniper touch as he does take out Phone. And Meatball is killed as well. With that, it looks like we're going to see Azeon and trying to leave. Bloopy does end up getting taken out, and it's just Azeon, Stock, and Market holding last again. There's another uber advantage last push with the sniper. Market and Stock do actually end up getting some kills, and Stock actually caps? He's actually behind, holding the cap right now, bombing onto Roster Ronald, getting an interesting surf. Going so low, Roster Ronald survives with 5 HP. There's a scout actually wrapping him as well. Oh my god. This is a heart twister.
Is Market gonna get it? He's gonna run up, he's gonna try to get the 1-shot, 2-shot, but no! Roster Ronald stays alive with 25 HP. And
that's a Pepega aim if I've ever seen one.
Wow.
That's
okay.
such a free kill.
I think, was it Phone who bombed in, or was it Stock who got the cap onto second? Because that saved the round for them. Phone gets a headshot onto Palm. Azeon takes out Roster Ronald. God, I didn't even see that. So that might give Stock Market the ability to push out. And they're going to be doing so through the shutter side, getting into lobby. Just moving slowly, don't want to be over hasty with it. The past few push-outs they've attempted have not gone very well for them. I think they're going to be able to make the space now. Dog is going to have to jump out through lower. Art gets caught out, so that's going to help them a lot. No sticky traps are going to kill Bloomby now. And now, Stock Market has capped their second. They want to start moving towards mid. Looks like they're posturing towards the saw area antlers.
You're actually going to see a huge uber advantage coming out, about 40% coming up from the Stock Market as well. Bloomby is going to be pushing through upper as well on balcony. Does get bombed by Mousecake, but no dice. As it looks like the uber does get forced though. Very unfortunate for Bloomby. It's really just a no-win situation for him. But at the same time, with that, they are able to take the mid very effectively. Mousecake does go down, and all players are up on the side of Stock Market. We might see some aggression here, Caleb, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, Bloomby hit a really nice surf, and he did end up forcing. I don't think he definitely would not have died if he didn't force the Uber, but I guess better safe than sorry as the Uber comes in now from Honey Bacon Club. Big jumps from Azeon trying to get in, but Dog and Art are actually the first ones to go down, so this Uber already a disaster. Palm gets the trade onto Phone. That's going to help them just a little bit, but he himself is going to go down to the scattergun of Market, and the entire time there's been cap time on second. That's been Stock trying to get all the cap time he can, and now Honey Bacon Club's in a terrible position, caught out in their own lower yard, and Mousecake's going to try to jump back up, try to make something happen, and here comes the Uber from Stock Market. So many red players on the side of Honey Bacon Club. Roster Ronald is the first one to go down, so no heals. This Uber isn't really going to do much more except get Honey Bacon Club out of second, let Stock Market get the frag. Dog trades with Phone, but Stock Market has all the momentum right now.
Honestly, I think that was a fine use of Uber. It looks like Roster Ronald was the only one who died to it, but at the same time, that's all you need to get an Uber advantage. But we are seeing Stock Market try to get some aggression into last as well. Azeon does go lower, does manage to get out with his life, as they do end up only killing the sentry and leaving. As long as that, we also see a quick Spike checking off classes, but he didn't last very long. But I just want to say, Stock has been getting so many backcaps and drawing so much distraction and eyes away from the main combo instead of Stock Market. It's been a huge for them. The Uber does come out. Azeon jumping in very high onto Roster Ronald, doesn't end up getting the kill. But with that, the sentry does eventually go down again. Not many kills coming up from Stock Market at all, as actually everyone goes down. The Angie spamming some great gunslinger shots. As it looks like they wipe entirely, not a single person on the side of Honey Bacon Club dies to that.
Yeah.
Still 0-0 in the second half.
Yeah, I think that sentry gun on the side of Honey Bacon Club put in a lot of work for them, and I believe it was Azeon who got completely launched by it. Right now we see Phone is on the spy class, the sneaky James Bond man. He's hiding behind the shack on mid. He sees Dog in kitchen, waiting to see the medic that he wants. He wants his back, and he's not really moving as of yet, just kind of taking his time, cloak and daggering. Actually, here comes the decloak. He wants to get onto Palm on mid. Oh, but he misses the stab, and no, he's gonna die!
That
No,
was so sad. With that though, we're seeing a full Uber being pushed in through bridge right now, as it does actually end up getting popped on bridge. It looks like we're going to see a scout trying to fight it to little to no avail. And Bloopy does go down as well, Azeon barely being able to spawn in time. And with that, we're going to see Kuch almost killing Azeon again, as it looks like Roster Ronald is only 13 HP, but does actually end up managing to live through that entire exchange. With that, Muskake's going to get on last, beating out Stock in the DM fight, and with that, Honey Bacon Club are going to be taking the 3-3 fight. Is now tied up again.
Wow, okay, really heads up from Mousecake, not letting up the pressure at all, continuing to harass on last, and got the frag that allowed him to take the round, so now we're at 3-3, a tied up game. Stock Market does not want to let this game slip away from them. It's so important for their playoff hope. So looking into this mid, they've got their same kind of mid setup again, and Azeon takes some early damage. That's not great for them. And look at the aggression on the side of Honey Bacon Club. Art just walking across the point. So many frags starting to go left and right. Dog down, Stock down, Kutch down, Meatball as well. We have a 4-on-4 situation right now. The positioning seems to favor Honey Bacon Club as another frag goes down onto Azeon, so no demo. That's Phone launched way up into the air, and actually, did he get air shot right there?
That was actually an air sticky, and I think an air pipe, an air arrow as well.
What? Wow, okay, that was insane. But either way, that is a mid-win over to Honey Bacon Club. Limpy survived, so he's gonna have Uber, but Stock Market don't want to let this game get away from them. Mousecake does die, so there's not going to be any pressure onto Bloopy as of yet. Going to slow Honey Bacon down Club just enough to let Stock Market come out and contest the second point, not give up the crown. Don't want to be back on their last where they've been so much this second half. Kutch goes down to Meatball. A nice kill from him as Stock Market looks to try to push through lower.
It is even Uber sister, so they are going to have to either go in very aggressively with this medic or maybe just send in a sec, but they are actually getting aggressive in kitchen. Interestingly enough, the scout does go in, and the Uber does actually get traded out on both sides. Uber being flashed mostly on the Honey Bacon side, but Phone does go down in exchange. Soldier going behind as well, causing a little bit of distraction for Azeon, and with that, Honey Bacon Club are holding the high ground as they're trying to fight in lower, but so much damage coming up from Honey Bacon Club that Stock Market just doesn't really know how to counter. With that, it is even Ubers for both sides. Honey Bacon Club are getting aggressive with Dog getting on the high ground on the fence. A lot of spam coming out, and they're being forced out into their own lobby and back into their own last.
That pipe from Art at the end to take down Stock, I think it was. That was a really nice pipe, just anticipating at the pack. But either way, Honey Bacon Club now capturing their second. They're at a very, very slight Uber disad, about 10%. And here comes Dog trying to get on to Bloompy, who goes down to 20 health, but gets taken down by the stickies of Azeon. And looking around on second, the positioning from Honey Bacon Club, pretty passive at this point, just trying to build their Uber, build up, plan out their push, because their record for pushing last in this match has not been great. They succeeded on that last one, but we have Phone on the Sniper. He's been very deadly so far in this match. Sniper's putting in a lot of work. He's peeking through those classic lobby sightlines, seeing who he can get. There's a Soldier kind of there, but I don't think he's going to be able to get him.
I hate to cut him. We also have a Spy as well on the side of Honey Bacon Club on the Dog.
Yes, thank you.
He is going in underneath.
We also have a Spy on Meatball.
Spotting out. Meatball is going to be spotting out for the Spy. They now know that Dog is on the Spy class. You can see Bloomby posturing up for that now as well. Heavy Phone watching lower right now. Dog is trying to make some space here. He's hiding behind the tower right now. But with them knowing about the Spy, I doubt there's very much any chance of getting a pick.
Well, here he goes. The decloak, and actually he kills Azeon. So even though they knew about that Spy, not going to help them in the end. Is Honey Bacon Club going to take advantage of this no demo? Yes, they are. They're going to try to push through lower. No, they're getting shut down very well by that minigun from Phone, so putting in a lot of work. Mousecake down, Stock as well. Art goes down to the bleed damage of Meatball, and here comes the Uber exchange into lower. A bit of a weird exchange. Onto the heavy. Azeon takes down Kutch. So this is a better Uber on the side of Stock Market, but if you're Stock Market, you have to be careful right now. But it looks like they are successfully pushing out Honey Bacon Club. Really, really clean Uber exchange from them.
As well, might I add.
Yeah, I like the heavy a lot.
Are you telling me, Caleb, that you've never heard of the classic heavy through lower Uber?
Of course, the classic heavy through lower Uber. Every team has done it. You know, we've all seen it 1,000 times, of course. But here comes the re-aggression from Honey Bacon Club.
Is actually on Sniper in window as well, trying to get a beat onto Bloopy.
Whoa! Oh my god!
Massively well done. Does get another pick on Azeon as well. Looks like Stock trying to go in for the Meg, does not get anything. And the only players left alive are Meatball and Market. Meatball hiding behind the truck. Does actually not get Flutter pick Dog. Gets the reflex kill. What? Well done. Coming in on lower on the side of Bacon Club, edging up for the point. Bloomby is trying to make some space with his head, but doesn't seem like he's getting anything done. It does go down.
Oh my god,
Uber's
but it's just enough?
And with that, Honey Bacon Club are going to be taking the lead 4-3.
Okay, this is starting to get scary if you're stock market. You can start feeling this game slip through your fingers, as Honey Bacon Club has been turning up the aggression recently, putting in some great frags, some great DM work from really the whole team. So stock market has to make a statement with this mid, just like they did with the first mid. If they can recreate that kind of performance, I think they're looking good for this game. But either way, pretty slow developing mid so far. Dog with a huge high bomb. He's into Saw, gets taken down first by Stock. That's good for if you're stock market. Pushing across the point, getting really aggressive. A lot of red players on the side of Honey Bacon Club. They're going to have to back out through lower. And I think if you're stock market, that mid win, I think you're good with that.
Yeah, it's going to be much harder pushing into the second, though. You can see after they lost Dog, it was pretty much over for their push. We're looking to see, it looks like Phone getting into Cheese, trying to create some space for the rest of stock market, as both medics do call their Uber. A little bit of spam coming out both ways. Not much space getting made here. Phone is trying to get some spam onto the Demo Man. And it looks like with these counter bombs coming out from the side of Honey Bacon Club, they are going to have to give up that space once more. Going back to their mid-hold.
Yeah, stock market, they don't want to make any hasty pushes that are going to make them lose this game. This is match point for Honey Bacon Club and stock market. They had the lead for this whole game right until now. They're moving forward into this Saw. Phone trying to peek through. Bloomby takes a little bit of damage from some spam. Kutch goes down though. So that's going to be good for stock market, trying to make their way in. But Phone trading out a nice return from Mouse Cake, getting that spam kill. And now Meatball tries to move in, get sneaky, but it's not going to work. Dog takes him right down. And so now stock market's going to have to back off just a little bit. Don't want Honey Bacon Club to be able to get into this mid cleanly. They're trying to move through Saw, Honey Bacon Club is, and stock market really doing all they can to not let them in. The Stickies on the door, trying to shut them down. They're going to get their respawners right now as Meatball is spawning. We have regular cookie cutter lineup on both teams, and Honey Bacon Club is going to have to back off. So stock market's going to have another attempt, another chance to push second.
You can see the amount of spam coming in from the side of stock market, absolutely destroying, neutering any chance of a potential push coming from Honey Bacon Club. It looks like we are going to see Phone trying to get some extra damage, getting a little bit of spam in, but he does actually go down for those troubles as well. It looks like with that we might see some counter aggression coming out from Mouse Cake. It looks like no, Kutch coming in through the top. It is one of the soldiers bombing in. Does try to get onto Bloomby, but Bloomby is surfing away beautifully from that one rock that was hit. And once more we were holding a standard as we were waiting for Phone to respawn. Yeah,
that was really good stickies from Art to take down Phone right there. That was really, really funny. He dropped a lol in chat afterwards. But we're basically reset into the same position. Mouse Cake is spawning. So now stock market looks to be posturing through lower. They want to make this push. The Saw has not been working for them. So they're going to try and work in through this lower. Getting in pretty cleanly thus far. Phone tries to jump. Ooh, stock. Great bomb. Gets Rosted down to 23 and gets the force. If stock market cannot lose more players here, they do lose stock, but as long as they hold on to their Uber ad, I think they'll be okay. They're holding back pretty passive on mid. They really do not want to lose this Uber ad. Dog goes down to Meatball. That's going to let them move up a little bit more. But Honey Bacon Club does not really want to back out right now. They're finally going to have to through Saw, and stock market has a lot of ground to take. They are holding back really passively. It's not going to let them take ground quickly, but they're trying to go as fast as they can through the lower. Market leading the charge. Moving through lower, we see Meatball as well. Ooh, but Bloopy goes down to the flank from Kutch. Really heads up play from him, and that's going to just completely stop the aggression from stock market. Phone's trying to do what he can, launches himself way up in the air, and stock gets air shot from Mouse Cake. And now all the frags going in favor of Honey Bacon Club.
With that, it does look like Meatball is the only person left alive on the side of stock market, but he is actually on the enemy team's second right now, trying to create a backcap diversion, sending one player back, and Kutch is already there from the respawn. With 5 players on top of the mid, doesn't look like they're going to get anything done, however. Mainly just an attempt of the delay. With this, we see Phone actually holding lower right now. Is going to get spotted out from the side of Honey Bacon Club. Is forced back as well. With that, we see the rest of the stock market holding lobby very securely. And with that, we might not see any other aggression now that Meatball's died and is up onto another 5-second respawn timer.
that meat shot onto Meatball as he was sitting on second. He had no idea where that scout was coming from. It just a boop, instant meat shot.
Noticing the Uber coming in from lower.
Oh,
Azion
Azion
does bomb in. Azion getting 2 kills on the shutter as well. The heavy coming out, getting some nice damage onto the Uber plays, but does eventually go down for his struggles.
Wow.
With that, we are seeing a little bit of damage coming out from Stock as well. It does get a trade onto Art, but with this, we are seeing Kutch going down and dying as well. Dog only player alive in last still. We are seeing Russ Ronald escape through Cheese, and it looks like it's a counter aggression coming out towards second from Meatball.
Yeah, a really, really close hold from Stock Market right there. If anything could have tipped the scales in Honey Bacon Club's favor, and that could have been the match right there. But they're going to try to get onto the second. It's really important that they get this cap right now, and they do manage to do it. Mouse Cake is behind in Cheese, and Phone goes down to the stickies of Art. So that's gonna... Oh, and the Uber actually does come out from Bloopy, who went down to 8 HP, I think. Not going to be the Uber they want. Mouse Cake goes down. Bloopy jumping out the window, trying to reconnect with his team. But no!
Dog. Oh,
Dog
no.
shoots the rocket, and he's going to die.
Yeah, we're actually seeing Meatball try and make a play. He does get caught out and killed by some traps. As well as we're going to see Palm winning a fight against Stock and lower. Kutch does go down eventually to a trap by Azion, but Azion is forced to back out of lobby, the only surviving member held any bit far forward. We're going to see Art and Rustaron pushing in through lower again as they are taking a bit of lobby control. With this, they're holding a 100% Uber ad. Phone on Sniper trying to create a counter defense in time. NG as well on the side of Stock Market. Hopefully that sentry gun create a kind of distraction. Art does end up popping the Uber, kills the sentry gun early on, jumps on the tower, and we're going to see everyone jumping in. Scouts edging the point on the side. There's a heavy now coming out onto the point as well from the side of Stock Market. And it looks like with that, Honey Bacon Club are going to have to back up a little bit, all very, very hurt. But they are choosing to stay in. And with that, Stock Market are beginning to wear down. Heavy out now finally getting killed. As it looks like Stock is trying to take some extra damage over the top. Does get picked as well. Bloopy already half HP. Meatball, the only player left alive.
Oh my god, this is so close.
Bloopy on the point. And with that, Azion is once again the last player left alive. But with that, 5-3.
GG.
Honey Bacon Club. Amazingly well done by both teams.
That was a really, really good match, I think, all around. And a heartbreaker for Stock Market, getting 3-0'd in that second half. I mean, that's rough. That's your playoff dreams, your playoff hopes right there. Gone, roasted by Honey Bacon Club, who really pulled off a great second half. Both teams playing really well. I'm going to pull up the stats real quick.
All right, I'm actually looking at the stats right now. I'm looking at specifically the second half stats right now. I know for a fact that the combined logs overall will be on the screen. But we can see right now, right off the bat, that this was a 3-0 from Honey Bacon Club. They really picked up again. And you can see that as well coming out from the damages as well. Kutch, Mouse Cake, and Art all top fragging on the second half. And with that, I mean, there's really just not much you can do when 3 players are on the top DPM list right there.
Yeah, I'm looking at the combined logs right now, and the first thing that sticks out to me, Art had a fantastic game. He went 31-17, 357 DPM. That's so much more than anyone else in that server. And Azion also had a great game. The demo man for Stock Market went 28-16, but putting out 248. He had some great traps. He had some great kills, but Art was just really on fire. Mouse Cake as well.
Of those 37 kills, 22 of them were in the second half with only 9 deaths and 14 assists as well. Art really stepped up and brought his team back in the second half. That was absolutely huge. And might I add, Kutch was clutch king in this game as well. He was absolutely huge, coming back, I think dropping Bloopy twice?
That sounds right to me. I would love, people in the chat are saying interview. I would love to do an interview. I don't know if we can make that happen, but I think that would be fantastic. Kutch says...
I can get Azion in here if I really needed it.
Well, if anyone is in the chat right now from either of these two teams and wants to do an interview...
Okay.
Well, anyone who wants to come in, please come into Mumble. We'll try to sort that out, but we're going to keep talking about the stats for now. Yeah, Kutch did a fantastic job. That one drop that he got onto Bloomby, flanking in through lower while Stock Market was trying to push in, that was fantastic. I mean, that was play of the game, really. I remember making Mouse Cake's huge air shot to shut down Stock, I think it was, on a failed second push for Stock Market. And then on mid, when who was it? Was it Azion who got triple air shot? He was just like way up there.
I just want to say, possibly the most outstanding air shot for me right off the bat came from Art on the very first sack that they were holding on last. He actually doubled Stock in the air as he was trying to counter bomb onto the medic. It was wonderful to watch. Pure ecstasy for me.
Yeah, there were a lot of really great plays in that match. Like, really just going back and forth. I mean, that's the Division 2 magic. That's the Div 2 action that we come to see. Div 2 never disappoints. It's always great, always awesome. Tons of flashy frags going back and forth. If your Stock Market, a heartbreaker, a great season. I think, this is a team, clearly, they really liked what they were doing. They were having fun. But yeah, if we can get this interview happening, I would love to talk to Art, who wants to make it happen. Looster's trying to make it happen. We love Looster. Can I get some love in the chat for Looster? Some hearts for Looster.
This is really just a Looster moment, and I just gotta say, I love you, Looster. You're the
Everyone loves Looster.
With that, though, I also like to point at the medics here. Possibly one of the biggest things involving, I think, Stock Market's downfall eventually was Bloomby getting caught out more times on the mid than Roster Ronald ever did. And that was pretty influential in how these games played out. You can see that Bloomby died actually 6 more times for a total of 17 versus Roster Ronald's 11. And that absolutely changed, I think, how the game played out on a whole.
Yeah, the medic play, Bloomby, he wasn't playing poorly at all. I actually think he did pretty well, but he was under a lot of pressure. Honey Bacon Club did not give him any breathing room, and he had a really tough job and just pretty difficult for him. And struggling a little bit in this game, especially that second half, and getting dropped several times. That's it doesn't help. Does not help bring team morale up. And Stock Market just fell behind in that second half, coming off of a really impressive 3-2 first half.
And with that as well, Stock Market's playoff chances are officially and completely dropped out, as they do fall into the 4th place position. And now the official top 4 Div 2 teams are Jecklers, HBC, BoxTap, and Blanc. No, I'm talking about the total 4 top invite spots, Looster. That's totally different.
Looster and Antlers are having a conversation in Whisper, but Artist is in the Mumble. He's in the Root channel. We're in the casting channel. How do we get him in here?
As we're waiting for Artist to come in, I have to say, I am a Stock Market fan, but with this...
What's up?
Art!
There he is.
Hello. What a game you had. Putting up some big numbers. Putting out some great damage. Awesome plays. How do you feel right now?
Feeling pretty good. Going in the playoffs.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. It was a fun match. First half, we were down 2-3. We just talked about the first half, what went wrong. We brought it back.
Yeah, so during that halftime, what were you guys talking about? What did you change for that second half that let you succeed so much more?
One thing we wanted to change was how we played our mids. I don't think we won the majority of them. And mids are, pretty crucial.
Yeah.
And we really just fixed our mistakes. A lot of the major ones we made.
Yeah, you guys are doing much better with the mids in the second half. I mean, in the first half, on every single mid, I think there was a wipe from one of the teams.
Yeah.
It was really back and forth in that regard, and you guys pulled it together in that second half. Did you guys, so going down 3-2 in that first half, were you worried that you were going to lose this game, or were you guys confident that you'd pull out the win?
We weren't worried at all. We scrimmed these guys before, and sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, but we were confident we could take it back.
Yeah, I think that confidence showed, especially in the second half, just letting you guys come back. Confidence, always really important in this game, such a momentum-based game. Your attitude, often just as important as your mechanics.
I agree.
But are there any shout-outs you want to make? Any last comments?
Mouse wanted the shout out, so shout out to him. Shout out to Gree. And shout out my mom. Yeah.
All right.
I do
Shout out
actually
to
have a
Artist
quick question
Mom.
for you as well. So regarding the future of Honey Bacon Club, once you guys go through playoffs, first of all, how do you feel about your chances in playoffs as for winning grand finals? And then what's next?
I think our biggest challenge will be overtaking Jugglers in playoffs. And after playoffs, that's classified. I don't know if we're staying together or not.
Remain to be seen, I guess. Hope you guys stay together. You guys are a fun
Same.
team to watch. Really, really enjoyed this match. One of the better matches I've seen recently. So thank you guys for that. And is there anything else you wanted to add, Antlers, before we sign off?
I actually am kind of interested. If you guys do end up pushing forwards towards Div 1, I mean, how confident are you that you'll be able to pull off in this pretty much just low invite territory? There's a lot of invite players in there as well. It's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out.
I definitely think we can make playoffs in Div 1. We've played together last season too, and man, playing together this season, so we're only improving as a team as we go forward.
And it's going to be absolutely crucial as well, having that team chemistry that we were actually talking about a little bit earlier as well.
All right. Well, thank you, Artist, for coming into the Mumble, doing an interview.
Thanks for
Really
inviting
cool.
me. Thanks for casting.
Lots of fun. Great cast. I had a ton of fun. But either way, I've been Caleb. With me has been Antlers and then Looser200 on production. This has been Team Fortress TV. We're plugging the DreamHack event real quick. Essentials TF DreamHack Community Clash, November 14th and 15th. $2,000 prize pool. Wow. Go to clash.tf for more information. But with that, this has been TFTV. Hope everyone has a good night.
Have a nice night, guys.